All right, we are back. Wow, it it feels so weird doing these weekly, but it's nice. It's nice staying consistent, and no, I appreciate the feedback I've been getting on these videos. So today's topic is talking about something that I've been dealing with this actually in recent times, and it's the feeling of uncertainty. It's the feeling of not knowing the outcome of an event. I'm gonna go ahead and move my microphone here. There we go. It's yeah, it's the feeling of not knowing the outcome of something, and I've been feeling that a lot lately. Uh, Partially to do with my job, as well as my living conditions, my everything really. Um, it's Uncertainty is weird. Like, it's one of those things that it does a lot to you, but it's like it's not physical pain, you know? Like, you feel this weight on your chest, you know? You feel it's you get all these emotions kind of flowing at once, you know? You you get all these different ideas, these different thoughts, and they all kind of just like surge at once, you know? It's like the best way I can describe uncertainty is like it's like throwing a rock into a lake, you know? It just like the rock hits, right? And it just kind of like riptides, you know? You can't really see what's at the bottom of the lake. Everything just kind of shuffles all over the place, and it's like very agitated, you know? That to me is how I feel whenever I'm uncertain about things, and even now I'm still trying to figure out how to combat those feelings. But I think what helps me the best is just clearing my mind and taking a minute to appreciate what's like how far I've made it in life, as well as just appreciating the fact that I'm still here, you know? One of the biggest things that I feel the most uncertain about is myself. I I don't feel certain about myself. I don't feel certain that I can take care of my future, of my romantic life, you know, of my surroundings, of my job, you know. It's it's me. It's me. I am my worst enemy. I am the one that stands in the way of success or failure, you know. I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm terrible at. I know how to build myself up, I know how to tear myself down. And when you're trapped in a room by yourself with these thoughts, you get thinking. You start thinking. You start overthinking. You start overcomplicating things. You start making things more difficult than they need to be. Whereas if you were to relax and mellow out, things calm down. You know, not to say that those irrational thoughts are without reason or purpose behind them. It's just the way that they are developed is kind of in a spur of the moment, you know? Like it's all at once. You know, it's not through careful planning or through like studying or observation. It's just kind of just like woof, you know, just like all at once. All at once you're just feeling everything, and you feel this tightness in your chest, and it's like, oh my god, am I gonna be okay? Am I going to make it through this okay? Like, one of the most scary things that I deal with in my day-to-day life is I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. I don't know what my future looks like. You know, I don't know where that is going to take me. I don't. I really don't. And it's one of those frustrating things because I just can't seem to. It's not a comfortable feeling, you know? Like, comfort derives from being. It's from the feeling of being being in a safe environment, of being in a safe place, you know, like your bedroom or your living room, right? Is an area that you can retreat back to and just kind of shut everything else out and unwind. But what do you do when your future is in front of you and you don't know what that looks like? You don't know if you are going to be on the top of the mountain or if you're going to be crushed to death under like a boulder of your own failure. You don't know. You just don't know. And that is a feeling that I unfortunately am still having to come to terms with, because my future is unpredictable. I don't know what's going to happen 5 years from now. I don't know where on earth I'm going to be. I don't know if I'll have money to feed myself. I don't know if I'll be healthy, if I'll be with somebody, if I will be alone. I don't know. But I think the best way to combat uncertainty, at least what I've just kind of been this is what's been helping me the best, is telling myself that whatever happens, happens. You know, it was funny. I was watching this movie today. I think it was like something Mr. Fantastic Fox or something. It was this weird stop motion movie, but it made me think about so much. Like, there was this guy, and he was in a little foxhole, and he was like, "Hey, I don't want to, like, I'm getting close to my, like, senior years. Like, I'm getting old. All right, I'm getting old, and I don't want to die in a hole. You know what I mean? I don't want to, because living in a hole makes me feel poor, you know? So he buys this nice house. Then he pisses off his neighbors, and so his neighbors bulldoze his house down. He goes on this fucking crazy-ass adventure. And then he just ends up in a completely different place, not knowing that that's where he was going to end up. You know, he had no idea that that's where he was going to be at the end of the movie, you know? And I'm not trying to compare our lives to movies, because that is such a cliche thing to say. But in a way, we are the stars of our own life. We are the main actor of our own movie. And sometimes we get to decide when our movie is over. Sometimes we don't get to decide when our movie is over. Sometimes someone else or Mother Nature decides to decide it for us, whether it's in the case of a tsunami or a hurricane or an earthquake, and, you know, tragedy happens. But maybe that's just me trailing off into train of thought. The point is, and this, like, watching that movie really kind of, like, put into perspective that you can't predict life. You can't predict what's going to happen 5 years from now. I would like to assume that I'm fed, I'm taken care of, that I have that I'm under a roof, and that I have warm clothes on my back. But the truth is, I can't say for certain that that will happen. And that is the thing that scares me the most, but it was also the thing that makes me want to stay in this game that much more, You know, it is life. It is life because life is unpredictable. And I would rather greet that uncertainty arms open than cowering in a corner afraid of what could be. I'm standing in front of the door and I could open it whenever I want. And there could be so many things on the other side of that door. It could be $1 million. It could be the end of a barrel of a gun, you know? It could be something that I can't even begin to imagine, you know? But whatever happens. I'm okay with what happens. I've had my failures. I've had my victories. I am ready for the unknown. You know, I am ready for what life puts in front of me. Whether it's good or bad, I am ready for it. I have to be ready for it. Because if you're not, life is going to pass you by. You know, I don't want to get passed by. You know, life is a fucking train. You're either on board or you missed your stop and the train's just gone. Because that train's got a schedule to keep. And let me tell you, you're not going to be the one to stop the train. You know, you're either on that train when it leaves or you missed it. It's doing these videos. It feels nice because I like to think that I'm not the only one that feels this way about these types of feelings. You know, these types of just recollections, you know, like these, I feel that these are very real things that happen to real people every day. You know, every day we experience these feelings. We see this and it just sucks because I'd like to sit here and talk to somebody about it. I'd like to sit here and have a conversation about it with somebody, you know? Like, it's nice reading those comments because I can kind of see that I'm not alone in this. I don't think any of us are alone in this. So, I don't know.